Okay, so while you were off getting your other cup of coffee or your glass of wine or whatever, well, I messed up and my one big piece of felt split apart in the middle. So, but that's okay because there are no mistakes in my world. If I wanted to do a really big painting, well, I'd be messed up, but I'm just gonna take what I have and use that. I mean, I was gonna cut this up anyways into smaller pieces, but I've been working on this one. You can see how now I can actually pick it up and throw it down and pick it up and throw it down, and it's pretty much holding together. The edges are kind of rough, but I can trim that all up when I'm done. The main thing is it doesn't really have any holes or anything. There's a little fuzz on the top, so I'm going to keep working on that area by putting my resist down a little more. I had to go get more hot soapy water. I ran out. And just keep rolling until those fibers enmesh with each other. But since I'm going to be, after this is dry, I'm going to be needle felting on top of it. So if there's fibers that are loose or sticking out on top, it's not a problem. They'll just get embedded into, part of the painting. And then if I have any scraps left, which I tore this off the end. Actually, this is a better example. This was kind of hanging off the end, so I'll just felt that a little bit more, and then I can make my mini, I cut this into little squares and make my mini wool paintings with that. So we're almost done with this one. And then I'm gonna rinse it with cold water. I might just squirt it with the hose. And then when I feel like it's pretty good and stuck together, you can actually roll it up in a ball and you hit it like against a rock a few times, and that felts it even more. So I'm just going to work on this just a little bit more, and then I'm going to work on this one, which this is the piece that broke off. You can see this one's still pretty fuzzy. I can pick it up, but it's still pretty fuzzy, so I'm going to felt that a little bit more. But I've got two nice big squares, and I can make that, cut these up and make smaller paintings with them. Don't worry about the edges. It does kind of stretch out, and then you get these kind of corners. But again, I'm going to be cutting it into, nice square, rectangular shapes, so it doesn't matter. No mistakes in my world. Everything is usable. Even if it turns into a felted dryer ball. I mean, because I have a lot of sheep, so I can afford to, I guess, make mistakes or throw stuff away if it's totally, but I don't throw stuff away so much. I usually find a use for whatever. Just this one area is just a problem. I'm just going to rub it with my hand. And then I can turn it over. So when I pull the resist off and I see these fibers sticking up, well, that's a problem area. I've got to try and work on that. And I like this table because it's actually like the bubble wrap. It's a hard kind of wire, and so it has texture on the back side too, which is working the felt. Some people use an electric sander and they put the resist down and they put like plastic on top of it and then they more sand it. But I'm chicken when it comes to electricity and water. I don't like it. So I don't do it that way. I just do it by hand. And when it's nice outside, it's fun. It's a fun thing. I have a workshop coming up, a wool painting workshop. So I'm going to cut this into little squares for my students so they can make their little paintings. I found this gray color to be a really good kind of neutral background color for my paintings. I've tried white, I've tried a lighter gray, but the colors really pop on this darker gray, so I'm going to keep East Frisian Lily because she makes good batting. She has a big fleece. Okay. Alright, I'm going to take a break, work on this one, and then when I come back, I'll hose this off and you'll see where we're at.